cut the line. No gods above, no faith to give in. We break the dark. I stand unbroken. We pierce the lies. No gods above, no faith to give in. We break the dark. We claim the name.
From mountain peaks, and now the echoes rise to awaken flame within eternity. Today I walk the edge of night, the golden sky will show, the crimson path will be my guide. So open your innermost mind and see, feel that beat. Roses of autumn bloom in the dawn, meditation carry the spark. Stillness and fire, spread consciousness. A thousand faces to light the dawn, rising presage and take and salvage. Hurricane fate.
Okay, I think I have a plan as to what I'm doing. Turn that down a bit. Wow. What just happened? Oh. I'm actually not going to do that. I want to grab that window. I have not actually heard this one yet, so that'll be interesting to listen to later. Okay. Bing, bada bing.
The Resident Evil story has come.
Whoa. Chill. Chill, fam. Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna do this real quick. Because after... Well, let's see if we even get to it. This is a big-ass video. Cool. Come on. Come on. Okay. View over here. Why you so big? And my mom's gonna be all janky here for a minute. Oh God. Well, I'll be a Christmas miracle. Why is it doing this? Actually, is that there fine? Yeah. Yeah. Lock you. Oh, and I want you over here. And again, I asked this question. Why you so big? Damn. Freaking big ass Streamlabs, man. Wait, we can do this from here? I had no idea. Oh, you can do it for... That's for YouTube? How come YouTube get the cool stuff? Wait, how do I get out of this now? Okay. Huh. Never knew that. That was kind of cool. What was I doing? Oh, yeah. Okay, why are you so small? Why are you so small? There.
A very long way, from the Ecliptic Express incident in Resident Evil 0, all the way to the Lycan attack from Resident Evil 8, this series has highlighted many deadly bioweapons, numerous outbreak disasters, as well as some of the most iconic characters in gaming. So in this video, we will be covering the entire story of the franchise, including all mainline games.
The reason why we're even... oh, sorry. The reason why we're even watching this, I personally kind of want to get into the Resident Evil franchise. I've seen plenty of videos on it over the years. Never really been one for horror games at all. If any of you have actually seen my Alien Isolation streams, I am not the biggest horror person. But Resident Evil does sound really interesting, especially because of the whole evil corp wanting to use bioweapons as a means to control the mass type thing. Sounds really interesting. But yeah, that's why we're watching this.
CGI films, the mangas, and much more.
Wait, there's
So
manga?
without further ado, I present to you
Huh.
the entire Resident Evil timeline explained. The story of Resident Evil begins on the evening of July 23rd, 1998, where an Umbrella-owned train called the Ecliptic Express travels through the Arklay Mountains, where several Umbrella facilities are located. Observed from a mountaintop by a mysterious man singing a choir song, the train is
That's just
suddenly
creepy.
attacked by a swarm of leeches, which break through the windows and infect all the passengers with the T-virus. This virus was created by Umbrella with the goal of eliminating the need for a large-scale conventional army, and would be used to create many bioweapons planned for military use. 2 hours after this incident, STAR's Bravo team flies over the same mountains with a mission to investigate a series of unexplained cannibalistic murders and animal attacks that have been occurring in the region. However, an engine failure in the helicopter leads to an emergency landing. Upon landing, Bravo team begins to explore the surrounding woods, while RPD pilot Kevin Dooley stays behind to fix the helicopter. Upon searching the area, Rebecca Chambers points the group to a wrecked military police vehicle with 2 passengers deceased. Upon further examination, Rebecca finds a court-ordered document of a prisoner named Billy Cohen, who was being transported to a base to receive his death penalty. Assuming that Billy killed the 2 guards and escaped, Captain Enrico Marini quickly orders the team to search for him. While searching the Raccoon Forest, Rebecca discovers that the Ecliptic Express train from earlier has come to a halt and its lights are out. Upon further investigation, she finds bloodstains on the sheets and is suddenly approached by a zombified passenger who awakens from his slumber. More zombies soon surround her, but she manages to escape and heads towards the front of the train. While she is examining a dead corpse, prisoner Billy Cohen sneaks up behind and holds Rebecca at gunpoint with the gun he took from his transporters. Rebecca tries to arrest Billy, but he decides to be uncooperative and refuses to be detained, instead deciding to walk away upon finding out that Rebecca works for STARS. Suddenly, Bravo team member Edward Dewey jumps through the window after being seriously injured from BOWs in the surrounding forest, and he warns Rebecca to be careful shortly before passing out. Zombie dogs soon appear and attack Rebecca, but she is able to quickly take them out and proceed to the middle of the train. Here, Bravo team member Enrico Marini contacts her on radio and informs her of the new documents of Billy Cohen, suggesting that he was sentenced to death for the murder of 23 people and was taken to a psychiatric hospital. He then warns Rebecca to keep her guard up right before the radio cuts out. Shortly after, Rebecca comes across Billy again, where he now tries to reason with her to work together after realizing the true danger they are in. Rebecca declines and proceeds upstairs herself, where she encounters another man in the very back, which upon closer examination turns into a pile of leeches. These leeches quickly swarm her, but just before they can inflict damage, Billy arrives just in time to save her from harm, further emphasizing how important it is to work together if the two want any chance of surviving. Later, they witness a strange man on the
so
mountain,
creepy.
surrounded by leashes, singing a choir song. The train begins to move in what is discovered to be an operation by the Umbrella Security Services Delta team. They have been tasked by Dr. Albert Wesker and Dr. William Birkin to move the train for investigation. As Rebecca further explores the train, she comes face to face with a giant mutated scorpion BOW that breaks through the top of the train and lunges at her. However, she is quickly able to eliminate the creature and progress further into the train. Shortly after, the 2 Umbrella soldiers controlling the train are attacked by leeches and quickly turned into zombies, leaving no one in control of the train. As it moves through the mountains, the train begins to pick up speed, and realizing that they might derail, Billy and Rebecca manipulate the brakes on the front and rear of the train in hopes to stop the vehicle. The train slows down, but it's too late to prevent an accident, as it drives through a cliff and into an underground train station, derailing in the process. Upon exploring, the two quickly find themselves in a large facility, which used to be an Umbrella Pharmaceuticals training school.
Everything
Here they
always
learn
somehow
about
leads
the
back to
T-virus
Umbrella.
and how its origins come from an ancient West African virus known as Progenitor. Once Umbrella founders Oswald E. Spencer and James Marcus discovered Progenitor's ability to repair dead cells, plans were quickly made to use this virus to create a new race of superhuman beings. After the many gruesome and disturbing experiments were completed with their test subjects, the T-virus was eventually born. As Rebecca and Billy continue to explore, Birkin and Wesker monitor their movements via CCTV, but a mysterious man quickly intercepts the feed and reveals that he was responsible for contaminating the train, claiming that it was part of his plan for getting revenge on Umbrella. He then accuses Birkin and Wesker of betraying Marcus, with both of them being involved in his murder 10 years ago. Shortly after,
So he's just
Rebecca
another
and Billy
Umbrella
continue to explore the training school
worker.
until a giant centipede bioweapon sneaks up and grabs a hold of Rebecca. Luckily, Billy was there and able to defeat the creature, freeing Rebecca in the process. From there, the mysterious man spots Rebecca on the CCTV and sends out the Eliminator bioweapons to attack her. One tracks her down and bites her in the torture chamber, and during this confrontation, the floor gives way, leaving Rebecca hanging on for her life. However, Billy soon after hears her cries over radio and rushes to her aid, saving her just in time before she could
But
fall.
what happens there?
After
Because she was
this,
bitten.
Rebecca finally gives in and demands Billy to tell her the truth about what happened to him. He explains that his Marine unit suffered casualties due to faulty intelligence when searching for a guerrilla base in an African jungle. His leader ordered them to fire on innocent villagers in the area, but he refused to take part. He was then framed by the unit, with the court-martial finding him guilty to cover up the other scandals. Meanwhile, Birkin and Wesker begin their own plan to deal with the mysterious man, whom they believe is Marcus brought back to life. They consider him a significant threat and begin preparations to activate the facility's self-destruct device to blow up the training school and the man with it. Birkin stays behind to continue work on the G-Virus strain, while Wesker begins to leave in order to pursue his next mission of luring the STARS team to the Arclay laboratory to collect combat data. Billy and Rebecca then proceed to an abandoned church, where they face off against an aggressive bat bioweapon and proceed to take an elevator down into an abandoned laboratory, which was used by Marcus for his T-Virus research. Here, Billy investigates Marcus's study and discovers a photograph of him in his younger years, looking exactly like the mysterious man. He then theorizes that the man is rather Marcus's son or grandson. Ready to leave the laboratory on an underground cable car,
No, it's
Billy
more
and
likely
Rebecca
Marcus.
are attacked by one of Marcus's Eliminator bioweapons. During the fight, the creature lunges at Billy and causes him to go down a ledge and into an underground stream. While Rebecca looks over the edge to spot Billy, a leech man sneaks up behind her ready to attack. Luckily, she turns around just in time and manages to dodge the creature and flee using the cable car, leading her to the Umbrella chemical plant located downhill
Why
from the training
leeches?
school. Heading down a large train elevator, Rebecca reaches Nest, the site of Birkin's own bioweapons research. There, she runs into Bravo team member Enrico, who has infiltrated Nest through the Arclay Labs subway tunnel. He is confused as to why the rest of the team isn't there, and decides they should head back to find where they went. Rebecca refuses to go, as she wants to find Billy and make sure he escapes the lab. Enrico reminds her that he can't be saved either way, but he gives in and lets her stay to find him while he returns to the lab. Soon after, Rebecca
Not
is
even giving her a
confronted by
gun?
the T-001, Umbrella USA's Tyrant prototype, which has been released by the mysterious man. The creature was a formidable foe, but Rebecca manages to halt the creature and continue her search for Billy. As she delves deeper into Nest, Rebecca eventually spots him in the middle of the water, holding onto some concrete to prevent the rapids from pushing him away. However, a mysterious creature pushes Billy off the concrete, causing the rapids to take him way out of Rebecca's sight. Refusing to give up, she continues to pursue Billy and eventually finds him washed up on the floors of the water treatment plant. When he regains consciousness, he notices that the decking is covered in skeletons, which leads him to conclude that Marcus had also dumped them in the water. As they continue to explore the area, the tyrant Rebecca had previously fought returns
back to life.
and enters a battle with
Regenerated.
the pair. Rebecca and Billy team up to take the creature down with ease and proceed further into the treatment plant, where they eventually come
Billy's just
face to
standing
face
there.
with the mysterious man. Here he reveals to them his true origins. It turns out that he is actually the Queen Leech, which was a mutant test subject created by Marcus in 1988. Marcus was killed by the USS on Spencer's orders, and Birkin and Wesker were sent into to steal his research data. Marcus was then dumped in the water, and the leech entered his body, consuming his brain and gaining his memories. The Queen Leech now sees itself as Marcus resurrected through divine work, and seeks to use its powers to get its revenge on Umbrella and bring hell to the world. The creature then mutates uncontrollably into a giant leech, and begins its confrontation with Billy and Rebecca. After halting the creature, the pair manage to escape up a cargo elevator
God, I got
that
heebie-jeebies
takes
seeing
them
that.
back up to the area where the training school was located. Meanwhile, Wesker makes his way through the facility and is eventually confronted by the T-001, which he quickly defeats. Making his way to the underground train station, he comes face to face with Umbrella executive Sergei Vladimir. The two have a brief argument, which leads to Sergei sending one of his tyrant bodyguards after Wesker in hopes to teach him a lesson. After a quick battle, Birkin activates the self-destruct system, allowing Wesker to flee and continue on to his next mission. Elsewhere, Billy and Rebecca proceed up an elevator, where they then spot the Queen Leech, now mutated even further, beginning to chase them up the elevator, ultimately facing off against the creature in a large warehouse used for helicopter cargo transport. Realizing that the creature is sensitive to light, Rebecca manipulates the controls to the warehouse's retractable roof, halting the Queen Leech in the process. Billy then fires at the creature with a magnum, causing it to fall down the elevator shaft just as the treatment plant explodes along with the training school. Seeing the explosions, the pair make a run for it and manage to flee the building just in time before it completely explodes. Making their way to a cliff edge in the Arklay Mountains, Rebecca spots the mansion Enrico told her about and now knows where to go. Knowing Billy will have to be detained and sent for execution on murders he didn't commit, Rebecca takes his dog tag and declares him dead. He agrees to faking his death and walks out into the forest alone. Rebecca then proceeds to the Spencer mansion to meet up with Bravo Team. Here, she falls asleep in an uncomfortable bed resting from her last battle, and has a nightmare where she comes face to face with a massive bioweapon snake. Rebecca is eventually woken up by Bravo Team member Richard Eichen and asks him why she couldn't find Bravo Team at the rendezvous. Eichen then informs her that they were attacked and the others may be hiding or even deceased.
Wesker.
The two then proceed to search for Enrico Marini, captain of Bravo Team, in hopes to find some answers. On their way, the pair are attacked by spiders and zombies, causing the two to jump down a hole in a loose floorboard and stumble onto the spider's nest. After a short fight, they reach the courtyard through the underground passages below, and are attacked by bees and other creatures. They eventually reach the door back to the mansion, where they then witness Sergei Vladimir exiting the mansion with the Tyrant bioweapon prototype, carried by one of his Ivan bodyguards.
Vladimir.
Not long after, Rebecca and Richard are attacked and pursued through the mansion by a massive snake bioweapon named Yawn. Chasing the pair to the mansion library, the creature engages in one last brawl. Richard ultimately saves Rebecca from the Yawn by jumping in front of it. He gets shaken around in the creature's jaws as he is infected with its poison, ultimately being thrown out and slammed to the ground when Rebecca fires at the creature. After the Yawn leaves the area, Rebecca examines and comforts Richard, as he is badly injured and infected with the creature's poison. Soon after, STAR's Alpha Team arrives to investigate the sudden disappearance of Bravo Team, as well as investigate a series of cannibalistic homicides conducted by an unidentified group of people. While flying around the Arklay Mountains, Alpha Team spots Bravo Team's wrecked helicopter and lands nearby to begin their investigation. Alpha Team member Joseph Frost is first to reach the helicopter and discovers the mutilated body of pilot Kevin Dooley, causing him to fall back in complete shock.
Well, this is still
As the
Resident
group
Evil 1.
continues their search in the woods, Joseph Frost is ambushed by a pack of mutant dogs, and his body is completely ripped apart. As Jill watches in complete shock, one of the dogs turns her way and begins to dart towards her. Chris arrives just in time to fire at the creature, and the two begin to flee the area. In the commotion, pilot Brad Vickers takes off, stranding the remaining 4 members of Alpha Team behind. Once the zombie dogs quickly catch up to the two, Chris prepares for the worst, but luckily Wesker arrives just in time to fire at the creature. He then guides the two and team member Barry Burton to a nearby mansion, and they are all able to make it just in time before the creatures can reach them. Here, the 4 stars officers split up and begin to search the building. Investigating a gunshot
Wild.
near the dining room,
Wesker
Bravo
just
team member
playing
Keith
everybody
J.
for
Sullivan
fools.
is found dying of a fatal throat injury, having been ripped apart by a zombie. Exploring further into the mansion, the team is ambushed by more zombies that make several attempts for their lives. Bravo team member Forrest Spire is eventually found on a balcony seemingly dead, but he quickly gets up as a zombie and is quickly eliminated by Alpha team. Richard Eichen is found poisoned and injured from yawn, but quickly recovers once he receives a serum. However, Richard is killed shortly after when he risks his life to save Alpha Team. Chris eventually discovers Rebecca while exploring the mansion, but she is limited mostly to the medical storerooms to offer treatment for injuries. Meanwhile, Joe works with Barry in investigating the mansion and begins to suspect that something is wrong about him due to his movements. Once the team gathers 4 masks and places them accordingly, a coffin drops
Barry
to reveal
was
the Crimson
poisoned
Head
or something.
prototype, which awakes from his slumber and makes an attempt on their lives. As time passes in the investigation, the officers become aware that the mansion is part of a base operated by Umbrella Pharmaceuticals
Of
for
course.
viral research. Once the Queen Leech arrived to the lab, it manipulated an accident, leading to the entire facility staff being infected with the T-virus, while all the bioweapons that were created began to escape into the forest. In further search, Alpha Team learns that the mansion was built by George Trevor, and how he and his family were abducted by Umbrella in the 1960s, and used as guinea pigs in the research of the progenitor
Jeez.
virus. The daughter Lisa Trevor is still alive, having been kept as a human test subject for years, though
What
she has
the
been
hell?
driven mad and horrifically mutated. Because of her regenerative properties from the virus, the STARS officers are forced to avoid her every encounter. Once the team reaches the nearby dormitory
gross.
building, they are then attacked by a giant mutated plant. Once defeated, the team heads to the basement below,
You know,
where they
I
are
just-
met with massive bioweapon sharks lurking in the waters. Here, the team drains the water and electrocutes the mother shark in order to retrieve a key to progress further.
I could just
Making
see
it
this
back
being
to the
a thing in
dormitory,
real life.
Wesker arrives and gives updates on the current situation, giving orders to explore the mansion further and hopes to uncover more about the investigation. Making it back to the mansion, a hunter bioweapon sneaks up behind the officers and engages in battle, but is quickly taken down or avoided.
The hell is
Not long
that?
after, the team finds Yawn and faces it in a fight one last time, finally putting down the creature for good. Eventually progressing to the courtyard's underground area, Bravo team captain Enrico Marini is discovered injured. He informs the team that there is a traitor within STARS that's responsible for their casualties, just before he is assassinated by an unknown person who quickly escapes.
Which,
After
without a
running
doubt,
through
is more than
massive
likely
boulders
Wesker.
and defeating a giant spider bioweapon, the officers head back to the mansion. Here,
Oh.
Chris saves Rebecca from a hunter bioweapon just before the creature reaches
Jesus
her.
Christ. What is with horror games and spiders? God, it makes me uncomfortable. Yeah. Zoom pause. Oh. Has been arrested by guards unable to intervene in the place. Could only watch it since sounds as Jack Doherty was led away. Just put Jack away for good. Make the world a better place. Oh. Chuck's the track game flops in real time. That's diabolical.
Proceeding beneath the mansion, the officers face off with Lisa Trevor one final time, and once they push off the boulders to reveal Lisa's mother's corpse, she quickly grabs the skull and falls off the cliff edge. Moving into the laboratory, the investigation comes to a close, as the nature of the virus research is finally understood to have been part of illegal bioweapons research on behalf of the United States military. Captain Wesker is discovered to be a double agent that is working for Umbrella, and was ordered to lure the STARS members to the mansion to test the bioweapons' effectiveness against armed soldiers. He was also ordered to destroy the laboratory in order to eradicate any incriminating material that would reveal the true intentions of Umbrella. After revealing his true motives, Wesker wakes the T-002 Tyrant, with plans on using it to kill the other STARS members. However, he turns on Wesker instead and impales him with his claws. After the officers halt the Tyrant, the laboratory self-destructs.
Okay, I always thought Wesker was somehow just like the big bad villain that always somehow keeps coming back like he's Springtrap. Okay, well, I guess I was horribly wrong.
System is activated, and the 4 remaining STARS members, Barry, Rebecca, Chris, and Jill, rush to the helipad to alert pilot Brad Vickers to their need for rescue. The Tyrant confronts them again on the helipad as the helicopter arrives, but is destroyed by a direct hit from a rocket that was sent from Brad. The STARS members then fly away over the mountains and escape just as the Spencer mansion explodes. Prior to the explosion, Wesker awakes in the underground lab, having been resurrected by a special virus sample that he injected in himself earlier. Upon discovering that the Tyrant has been destroyed and the mansion's self-destruct system has been activated, Wesker attempts to get Umbrella's data, but realizes that it's been backed up to a supercomputer by Sergei Vladimir. Furthermore, his access privileges to the mainframe system have been revoked by an AI known as Red Queen. With minutes to spare, Wesker changes his plans and fights his way out of the mansion. At the very end, he finds the exit blocked by Lisa Trevor, who had survived the fall and was looking for a way out. After engaging in a battle with the creature, a chandelier above breaks free, causing it to fall down and crush Lisa. Wesker then escapes the mansion just before it explodes.
Okay, so Wesker's alive. That poor daughter, jeez. And, you know, it's just very oddly fitting to real life with how fucked the world is. You know.
A few months later, William Birkin finally completes the G-Virus and plans to betray Umbrella by selling his new virus to the US military in exchange for an asylum for him and his family. Having moles within the military, Umbrella's suspicions were confirmed, and a USS squad was sent out on a race to confiscate the virus first. On the night of September 22nd, Alpha Team leader Hunk arrives at the facility with a subordinate to obtain the virus. In the standoff, Birkin is gunned down with automatic fire after attempting to resist. Alpha Team then retrieves the case containing T and G samples and begins to escape the sewers and head to their extraction point. After they leave, the injured Birkin infects himself with one remaining G sample. However, the virus doesn't properly stabilize in his body, making him unable to become a G human, and instead begin transforming into a large and powerful G mutant. Intent on vengeance, Birkin follows the USS into the sewers, and they are all either killed or seriously injured. To guarantee no more samples are at risk of theft, Birkin proceeds to eat all of the G samples. In the process, he also destroys several T samples, allowing rats to consume them and spread the virus into the city's water supply. The following day, 10 patrons in a bar are listening to news reports of increased violence in the city. The bar's cook named Will is collecting dishes when an odd-looking man walks in. Curious, Will approaches the man, only for him to suddenly bite him on the neck. Will then forces the crazy man out and locks the door as multiple zombies begin beating against the glass and door of the bar. After witnessing this bizarre occurrence, a group of survivors, including an injured cop named Bob, begin to head upstairs to escape, blocking off doorways with wooden boards in the process. Minutes later, a group of zombies break into the bar and begin to rip Will apart as he was too injured to make his way upstairs. Once the survivors make it to the rooftop, Officer Bob's situation worsens as he can now barely walk, and he also says he's developing hunger for flesh. Unable to move on, Bob shoots himself to prevent mutating into a zombie. Once the remaining survivors hear an RPD officer calling for an evacuation, the group then begins to head to the area. However, RPD quickly loses control of the situation due to the number of zombies, and with no other option, Officer Raymond Douglas leads the group into an alleyway. Sadly, a group of zombies get a hold of Raymond and begin tearing at his flesh. He uses his last moments of life to alert the survivors of a gas tanker nearby, and they proceed to leak the gas and set the area ablaze, eliminating all nearby zombies in the process. From there, the group makes their way into a storm drain and exits at the Apple Inn, where they then meet RPD officer Dorian and 2 more survivors. Dorian evacuates the survivors, but is quickly halted by barricades, causing the group to travel on foot. The survivors walk past Raccoon Mall and discover an ongoing police operation to destroy Main Street and eliminate hundreds of zombies with bombs. The police operation goes south when the RPD officers are killed, forcing the group to assemble the detonator themselves and wipe out the zombies. Soon after, police reinforcements arrive to secure the area, and the group of survivors begin to drive away with Dorian's police van. Elsewhere in the city, the Raccoon Fire Department has begun responding to multiple different fires that have broken out throughout the city, one of which being at the Apple Inn has caused multiple different rooms and hallways in the building to become engulfed in flames. 2 firefighters arrive and enter the Apple Inn to put out the fires
given
both
the fact
inside
that there's
and
an
next door to
outbreak,
the building that threatened to consume it, and to search for any survivors. During the operation, several survivors from Jack's bar find themselves surrounded by hordes of zombies on the streets of Raccoon City. Sprinting through an alleyway, they become trapped when they find zombies blocking them in from either end. With nowhere else to go, they choose to enter a nearby door that leads them into the Apple Inn's central courtyard garden. Meanwhile, the 2 firefighters go in to inspect the boiler room of the Apple Inn, after noticing the boiler showed...
Wait a minute. Hold on. Hold on a second. What's going on in Fortnite? Why am I sleepy? I'm like eepy. Oh. She's already here. Okay.
If we ever broke up, I'll never be sad. Think about everything I do. Rain on me.
Hey, yo, hold on a minute. Yo. All right. Might have some. Might have to snag that later. Join Twitch to chat, or I'll cry. I have no idea what the extension is, but you know, sure. Whoop, not what I wanted. You know what? Oh God, where'd I go? There I am. Only because my brain is like, I can't. I gotta do something. My brain. Alright, we're gonna grab this little guy. Plug this little guy in. Yep. Dope. I want to start off with goat, or we just I'm so debating on grabbing it. Turn on hiatus again. I don't think. I mean, personally, I think almost fine. You don't need to go on. Like, you don't need to spend an uber amount of time on Uma. Oh. Even we could not identify the wayward ghosts. Subscope might be able to unmask them. Oh, no. Do I need to go find... I probably have to come back here. I probably can't progress yet. Okay, left takes us where? Why me? A fan? Okay. If you get hit with love again, I'm gonna scream. Okay, good. We got a crit. And a burn. Look at that. See, go. This is... Okay. Oof. feel. Yeah, we're changing. Shanny. I need my Shanny. Let's go very now weak to gets fair. Is it weak to this? Oh god, I can't remember. Go for the bite. My memory of old school Pokemon is not as good as it is. Or it's not as good as it used to be. Nikkei post. Oh. Oh, that is such pretty artwork. Damn it, Mambo. Reference to video on Crowd Imagine. Interesting. Man, Phase really did fall off hard, didn't it? Gambling continued. Boy, I'm about to solo your ass. Very confused as to what that did. Okay, Vulpix. Should be rock, right? Rock weak against fire. I knew what I was doing this whole time. I didn't need any help. Pretty sure I have Ekans. My leg. It bit my leg. Oh my god. Get out of here. Ugh. will name you. Call me hamburger. Say what you will. Stretch my legs. Stretch my legs. Oh. Stretch. Stretch check. I just gotta stretch once in a while. Keep your body moving. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Hey, hey, hey. Oh. Strategy to win. Mister. I'm about to strategize upside your head. Oh, sweet sound surprise, not the sugar. Get out. Grab Krillin. God, I don't remember what's wiki get on this. Oh my god. Huh. Not quite feeling it today. It's been super tired lately. Yeah. I'm about to call it here. Just feeling a little out of it. So everybody, I will be back Saturday, hopefully just a little more rested. Yeah.